Hello there, and welcome to today's session. Hope you've had a really good weekend and you are getting ready for Monday. I've had a really nice weekend. It's been busy, but it's been good as well. So I hope it's been the same for you. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Pauline Lehman. I'm the founder of Star Richards Community Initiative. It is a charity organization, and really what we do is to help parents raise high achieving children, to break the cycle of pupil underachievements among Black communities, and to raise children's aspiration as well as promote the well-being of children from Black and BME communities. Thank you for joining us, and I hope it's going to be a really, really useful discussion. And as you know, for those who have been joining me on Sunday evenings, my passion really is to be able to raise awareness amongst our communities of the issues pertaining to or contributing to the underachievement of Black children in education. And so in today's session, we're going to be looking at a topic that a lot of parents, have kind of asked me about. How do we get our children off mobile phones? How do we, sometimes our children are up too late in the night. I just can't get my child off mobile phones. And I thought it's a really, really important topic because, mobile phones are, I would say, a must say, and we can't dispute that mobile phones are an amazingly useful resource. Very useful in helping. There's so much information that we can get on the mobile phone. You cannot hear me. Wow, okay. We cannot hear me. Okay, just a minute. Let me check my sound. Please bear with me. Can you hear me now? Can anyone hear me? Please, if you can hear me, just, I can hear you. Okay, thank you, Vera. Thank you very much. I didn't want to get alarmed. Sometimes it just kind of gets you alarmed. Okay, thank you very much, Jennifer and Vera, for letting me know you can hear me. So, Yetunde, please check it from your end. Ihoma, thank you very much. Absolutely awesome. Thank you. So I was saying before that mobile phones are a really, really vital resource for children if they use it correctly. There's a lot of resources there to help children with their revision, to help them learn. Unfortunately, a large proportion of children are not using the mobile phone to learn. They're using it for other reasons. And that is why, it is really important that as parents, we are able to monitor how much time our children spend on the mobile phone. So, how do mobile phones affect our children really? Giving a child a mobile phone is basically bringing the world into your home. Because today, children don't really need to sit down and watch the TV. Their mobile phone has become the TV. It has become the game where they play games, where they listen to music, where they connect with people on social media. So basically that mobile phone, that little device that we hand to our children, opens up our children to the external world. And unfortunately, a lot of parents also are not able to control what the children watch. A lot of our children's mobile phones do not have parental control. So our children are just exposed to so much out there. Mobile phones are also a great source of distraction. When I used to have students who would come to the classroom very tired, sleepy, and like, did you not sleep at night? And they tell you they were on Messenger, chatting with friends till 3 a.m. So it is a great source of distraction. In fact, research shows that the average teenager spends about 31 hours a week on screens, which is the mobile phone now. We can't really say screens are just the TV. Screens have become the mobile phone because it has everything. Now, if a child is spending 31 hours on the mobile phone or on screens, imagine that particular child spent half the time on their schoolwork. I don't think there was any student who would find it really difficult getting an A star or an A grade in their exams. So a lot of children are spending a lot of time. It's making them to lose focus. And even when they go to study with their phones, their friends are continuously chatting with their friends. And so they are learning in a really disjointed manner. So it is really important to tablet inclusive, absolutely. So tablets also. So every device, the mobile phones, the laptops, the tablets, all have become, the TV and everything in one spot. Also, it is very, very addictive. It is really, really addictive. And think about us as adults. Each time we look at it, each time we're turning to check who's messaged me, what has come through, what has posted on Facebook, and so on. So it is becoming a big source of addiction, and research shows that when people are exposed to screens, when some research was done and they looked at the part of the brain that was activated when people were on screens, it's the same part of the brain that is activated when people are on drugs, that get activated when people become used to spending a lot of time on phones and screens and all that kind of thing. So it's really important that we protect our children from this addiction, because as we know, we can't even do without it. So it's really important that we are able to support our children to ensure that this thing does not become very, very addictive to them. Also, it's a big source of sleep deprivation. As I said before, children go to school tired because they have spent a lot of time on mobile phones or watching things or listening to music or chatting with their friends. And so it really stops them from achieving their potential. It's the biggest source of, biggest contributing factor to people underachievement, because when children spend time, in things that are not helping their learning, then they are not learning really. They're not spending enough time on their learning. So they don't do as well on tests because they are not spending enough time studying. And most especially, it's really a shame that mobile phones, screens, and all these devices, affect the quality of family relationships in our day and age. Now, when we think about those days before the TV and before the mobile devices, let's even not talk about the TV. Let's just talk about the mobile devices before we had all these, Android phones and all of that come into being. There was more quality time that families spent together. But nowadays, you come into a typical home, each child has a tablet, an iPad, or a laptop, and everybody is on their corner on their device, and that reduces the amount of quality time that families spend together. And it's really something that we really need to battle. I would say I'm traditional in our home. We don't believe in individual devices. We have a central computer where children can do their homework, and we have a second computer because if two of them have got homework at the same time, then they can use that one. So I would recommend to parents that children need really individual devices. Sometimes we feel we want to spoil them, we want to buy them gifts, and we have the pressure. They come home saying, everybody has got an iPhone this, everybody has got a Samsung, the most recent Samsung, and so on, and we feel pressured. It's really important, parents, to learn how to not succumb to our children's pressure from our children. There are lots of things out there, but our children need to know that just because things are on the market doesn't mean they need to have them. And even if we have them, let's be able to monitor how we use them. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to share some suggestions. I would say that as we share it, please, each parent, you know the realities of your family. You know your child, you know your family circumstances. It's very important that you pick out what you think will work for you. There is no one-size-fits-all system here. Thank you very much for everyone joining. Fina, Vanessa, thank you very much. Those that I have not acknowledged, the names have been going up, but I just want to say really thank you for joining us. So, some suggestions for parents. What can we do about the mobile phone problem? Remember when I started, I said a lot of parents have asked me, how do we get our children off the phones? In fact, some parents have confessed that they're actually afraid of actually approaching their children to even, get the phones off them. Some parents have said so their kids will actually fight with them if they actually try to take the phone. So that is how serious the issue is. And in the first instance, I want to ask, why do we need to give young children phones? Why do we need to give a child in primary school a mobile phone. As far as I'm concerned, if a parent drops a child off at school and picks them up from school, that particular child in primary school does not need a phone. Now, for the child who walks to school and comes back on their own, yes, they need a phone to be able to communicate, so you can continuously check on your child to see how they're doing. Now, for children in primary school, I really recommend a simple phone. A phone that has unlimited internet access, I would say, is not the best option for children. I've seen young children, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, owning their own devices. If not mobile phones, it is tablets, and they're using it in an uncontrolled manner. So please, let's try and not give these children these devices very, very young. I would say that the starting point is us as parents. What is your own mobile phone habit? Okay, it starts from there, because remember, we model the things that we want our children to copy. So are you the parent that is on your mobile phone or on your tablet or on your iPad all the time? So if you are on it all the time, then what you're telling your child is that it is okay for them to be on it all the time. Now, do you actually put your phone down to interact with your child? Because what happens is that really it's a knock-on effect, isn't it? That when you're on your mobile phone and you don't have time to interact with your child, then your child just feels that, okay, my parents don't really have time for me, so I can as well just turn and get on with the mobile phone and interact with my friends. So parents, when we are on our devices non-stop, we are telling our children we don't really have time for them, and so they can relate with other people out there. Okay, so let's really think about that. That is the starting point. What do you as a parent bring to the table in terms of that? What you teach them is what they're going to go with. Okay, so the next thing I would want to say is that when the children then get to secondary school, okay, so people are saying some schools use iPad, and that is absolutely, I do agree. When I started, Yetunde, when I started, I did say that these devices were a very, very useful resource if students use them well. Yes, students are set homework, on computers, and they can even access those homework on their phones, which is great. If children have homework on these devices, then we need to let them be able to use it. But what I'm saying really, what I'm talking about here is about just letting them spend endless amount of time on the mobile phone. So that is really where we're going to. So when you want to buy a mobile phone, I'm talking here because some parents said they're really struggling to get the kids off it, and there are a lot of power struggles that they experience. I suggest that before you buy your child a mobile phone, it's important to lay some ground rules, about how they would use the mobile phone. So sit down with your child, talk about, okay, I know you're now in secondary school, you're a big girl, you need a mobile phone. I'm going to get this mobile phone for you, but these are the things this is how you're going to use them. I personally do not believe in telling kids it is their property. I really discourage a mindset of entitlement. So I say everything in the home is for the family. It doesn't belong to you. Okay, so we can use it, we can take it away from you as a system of discipline. Also, if you're not towing the line, then we can actually withdraw it from you and use it as a system of discipline. And I think the reason why there are power struggles is because children feel it's their thing, and so why should you take it from them? Okay, so have those rules. And I'd also suggest that for parents, thank you very much, Vanessa, that will create a government structure and rules. And for parents who feel that there will be power struggle introducing this new system in place, you may want to have a kind of informal family meeting. I would recommend that kind of family meeting should happen while we're maybe doing something really fun, and just say, come on guys, we need to look at how we're going to, we want to look at how we can actually bring more order into our home. We want to be able to spend more time with you, so we want to control how much time we all spend on these devices, and get into those conversations. When children understand why we're doing certain things, then they easily come along, and it's not as if you're taking it to punish them. So we want to be able to spend more quality time. We want to be able to support you. We know that this mobile phone is really distracting, and even acknowledge that it distracts me too. I'm always looking at it all the time, and it makes me not to be able to be very productive. So to be able to help us as a family to be more productive, let us lay some ground rules that will work for everybody, not just for the children. We say, okay, when we come home, the phones are, going a certain place, okay, and so on. So there should be some rules. It's very important to come up, with some rules. And where you think there'll be resistance for the teenagers, especially who already have their phones, we can use a family strategy to be able to solve the problem. Now, it's also important when we give these phones to our children to talk about using these resources effectively. How do we use them effectively? Okay, because sometimes children go on, it's not uncommon. We know there's a lot of bullying that goes on, cyberbullying on mobile phones. Children make friends with people they don't know on mobile phones, on the social media, children send pictures on social media, and it's really important for our children to understand that once you've posted something on social media, once you've texted a picture to your friend, even if you delete it, it's still there. It's easy to download pictures of Facebook, of Instagram, and things like that. So children need to really understand that you cannot go on and send inappropriate pictures. You cannot. You don't need to make friends with people you do not know on social media. You can't send naked or sexy pictures of yourself, to children. You can't disclose your location online. So it's very important that they also turn off the location, thing there on our phones. I don't know how it's called, but I'm sure we know what I'm talking about. So turn it off so people cannot pick up where they are. They shouldn't say their names, the schools they go to, and so on. Sometimes we feel that these things come naturally to children. They actually do not. So it's really important that we sit down with them and talk to them about using these devices safely. Now, other things you can include in your rules: homework time, study time. Children, agree when creating these rules that during study time, during homework time, the phone should be charged within a certain location, and if they finish studying and doing everything they have to do in time, if they want, they can then spend 30 minutes or so maybe connecting with their friends before they actually go to bed. But it's important, parents, to ensure that we don't let our children go to bed with their mobile phones. A lot of them are spending a lot of time chatting with their friends, watching movies, and so on. And they wake up in the morning feeling really tired. In school, some go and they just can't focus. So it's really, really, important that we are able to monitor it. Parental controls is really important as well, so that it kind of filters out the things that the inappropriate websites that kind of come in now and again on those their mobile phones. Also, really important, we're talking about the effect of mobile phones and technology on the quality of family time. It's important as families to be able to say, within that rule, when we're sitting down to make up the rule with our children, that during meal times and family time, all devices should be off or should be away. And parents, you need to adhere to it, because if while you're trying to interact with your children, you're on your phone or on and off your iPad and things like that, then you are telling them that it's okay to do that. So let's come up. The best way to approach these things is to approach it as a family. It's really important that we maintain that relationship with our children, especially our teenagers, because if we don't, they're going to connect with those friends out there. So if we spend time on our devices, and it's a shame really that if I ask the parents here, how much time you spend with children a day, many parents hardly spend 30 minutes actually of quality focused time with their children. But we can be on the phone for an hour talking to our friends, if our children are important to us, what that we really need to try and ensure that we fit in time for them. And I remember the good family structure. It's possible for us to say from this time to this time, we're going to turn off our mobile phones and put all our devices there, and then get the kids to do the things they need to do, including the studying, the playing, and doing all the other things that are important for their development. And when they've gone to bed, we can now go to our mobile phones and talk, or communicate with our friends. So it's really, really important. I'm just reading a comment here. Sorry if I've not kind of looked at the comments yet. It says the effect of mobile phone and devices on the quality of family life. Absolutely, absolutely. So let's really try and beat it, because a lot of our families, I work with a lot of families, from our background, there is a lot of issues with our teenagers. There's a breakdown in communication with our teenagers. And if the communication was not established when they were younger, okay, as they get to the teenage phase and they start to be more interested in their peers, in relating with their peers, then it's going to be really difficult for us to be able to influence them. And they need us more than ever before. They feel they don't. They feel they prefer their friends, but they actually need us. They need us to influence them as they go through this phase. So I just want to find out if people have got any comments, any contributions. I've got lots of parents there with different experiences. Please share your comments, share your contributions. This is a big, big problem within the community, which is affecting pupil achievement. So we want, as a community, to be able to really, fight against it and say, mobile phones, technology is not going to come and break down our families. It's not going to take our kids away from us. So please, your contributions are welcome. And I want to also say to everyone that is watching today that we need your support. Star Richards Community Initiative has been nominated, for National Diversity Awards. It's an event that actually recognizes the contribution of communities and role models within society. And, if you don't support us, we can't get to be shortlisted for the finals. So I please implore that you vote. Okay, so if you think that the things we've been sharing here have really benefited you, please vote to support us. We have a lot of work to do with our communities. We are fighting really to ensure that our children are positioned to the right, because I believe that kids have got potential. They have potential, and they are our leaders for tomorrow. And we can't let them down as parents. So please support the work that Star Richards Community Initiative is doing within the community. Now, Blessing says, what if your teenager is fussy? Do you mean fussy about handing in the phone? Now, if that is the case, I did suggest that if we have teenagers that we've handed phones over to them already, that a family approach to controlling mobile phone usage would be a good option. So basically, within a really nice, fun, humorous setting, we could then talk about why, as a family, we want to start to control how much time each of us spends on the phone. And I would think, okay, if I put down my phone, maybe I can have more time to talk with you. Maybe as a family, we can play more board games. Maybe as a family, we can do more things together, because it's a shame that families don't actually even sit down to eat together, and it is so important for families to be able to sit down and eat together. That is where we have all forms of conversation. We laugh, we talk about all sorts of things. We instill the values that we want to instill in an informal way, without it being only maybe within a family meeting setting, if you have one, or just telling children what to do, what not to do. So yes, if a child is fussy, let's try and use that approach, and let us say, okay, we're all going to be putting our phones there. So it's not as if it's just you alone actually doing it. I hope I've answered your question, Blessing. Elizabeth says, I've been told off by my children about using phone while they were talking to me. And guess what? I apologized to them and had to talk to myself to stop. Parents need to listen to their children. That is so true, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for that. Children always pick it up. They say, Mom, but you're not listening, Mom, or Dad, you're not listening. Put your phone down. And My 4-year-old, if my husband or I do that, she'll say, Mom, what is more important? Is it your phone or us? So we're all guilty of this and we are all learning. But it is something that we need to really make a conscious effort to say, when we get home, the phone stays there. We spend the time 2-3 hours ensuring that the children follow the structure, because to be honest with you, when phones are on and off, it really disrupts the structure. And if there's no structure at home, I would advise you, please create structure. That really helps a parent to really manage behavior and helps the children to become, self-reliant and just take charge of the things they need to do. Children thrive best with routines. So please, let's ensure that within our homes, we establish routines that are suitable for our own, realities. I think there is another comment here. Let me see if I can see it. Blessing says thanks. Okay, I'm happy so please try that. Please try that. Any more comments? Any more contributions? Now, if you want to vote for Star Richards Community Initiative, when I finish this session, I'm going to put the link in the comment section, so you can just go there and click on it. Also, if you go on to the Star Richards Community Initiative Facebook page, you can actually also see there. I did post it last week. You can actually click on that and vote. We really, really need your support. We need everyone's support so that our voices can be heard, so that we can start to influence policy around the issues that are affecting our children's, our children maximizing their potential even within the educational system. Thank you very much, Olayinka, for voting already. Okay, so if there are no more comments or contributions, I want to say thank you for joining. Please share if you found it useful. Share with your friends so that they can also benefit from this. And also, I want to encourage you, if you've not liked the Facebook page yet, Star Richards Community Initiative, please like the page. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. I do appreciate your feedback. It's really good to know that people are benefiting from, the things that we're doing. Thank you for that. So I'm going to have to stop here. You have a wonderful week. We will definitely vote. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. God bless you. Have a prosperous week. Okay, bye-bye.